you, I want you, I need you, honey. But there ain't no way I'm ever gonna love you. So don't be sad now. Don't be sad, 'cause 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Meatloaf, man. Mr. Loaf. What do you call him? Hey, Mr. Loaf, Mr. Meatloaf. Yo, this one goes out to Zebo Paycolo. And Mr. Hayes highlights, I have not forgot about you. I actually did your video, but that video turned out to be like an hour long. So I have to cut it up. So I did do your music video, Hayes highlights. But to Zebo Colo, he asked me, or Zebo Paycolo, I think that's how you say his name. One of my new subscribers, Zebo Polo, comes down. He lines up at the perimeter. He shoots and scores. Zebo is on fire. Anyways, so Brother Z, that's what I'm gonna call you, Brother Z. He said that I should do more videos on Draymond Green and why the league allows him to pretty much play football on the basketball court. Zebo, I'm gonna start it off like this. You remember Dennis Rodman? Okay. Uh, okay, we can. You got Dennis Rodman. You got who was the guy who choked his coach? You got Xavier McDaniels. Yeah, I mean Moses Malone. You got some guys who were on there. Meta World Peace. Meta World, Meta World Peace, and Kobe Bryant. I mean, it's just, whew, pretty bad the way those guys were going to go at it. So to, to try to stop Draymond Green from doing what he does is let me back up. Draymond Green is a piece in the whole chess game that is needed. This is the reason why they don't stop him. They need somebody who's going to flagrantly foul you. Let's look at the championships 2016 when Draymond kicked LeBron in the nuts. For one, LeBron stepped over Draymond Green. Okay? Draymond Green was on the ground. He was already, I threw it on the ground. He was already on the ground. You know what I mean? And song from the Lonely Islands, if you guys don't know. Uh, and then LeBron steps over him. And, you know, and the question there is, why would you step over him so he can kick you in the nuts? I mean, like I said, it's a play. I say this over and over and over again. These guys are actors. So this is why they allow people like Draymond, Meta World Peace, you know what I'm saying, and all the other rough housing players to just get in there and rip everybody a new one. They need it. They need somebody who's going to flagrantly foul you, and then they need to use that person to go ahead and take them out of the game so they can equalize the game. And we saw this in Game 4. We saw this last year in the championships. You know what I'm saying? We saw how they pick and choose who they want to be in the game, but they set the whole thing up either the year before or during the year. Somebody also said, hey, you know, as far as the Warriors season, their whole season was fixed. You know what? I cannot dispute that whatsoever. You know what I mean? Because for one, the money just for the rivalry. Okay, let's just talk about that. Okay, imagine if we saw a fresh team, and imagine if the Celtics would have beat Cleveland. Do you think they would have made as much money, even though they only played 5 games? Answer: absolutely not. See, we think they lost revenue because they didn't play the last 2 games, right, Mike? Mikey James and I was like, yeah, why didn't they play? But the truth is, their revenue could easily be equalized depending on the two people that were there. Okay, put it to you like this: the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna get back to Draymond, but I wanted to make this point on what you're watching and why you're watching it, why they set it up that way. Like it's not an accident. Okay, so let's just take the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl, uh, the couple years ago when the Legion of Boom and Peyton Manning's team was out there doing it. So you had the Broncos and you had Seattle. Remember that game, 48 to like 7. They dismembered Peyton Manning. And then remember what happened 2 years later? Peyton Manning comes and he wins the Super Bowl. Was it 2 years later? Was it either the next year or 2 years? It was like he comes and he wins the Super Bowl. But look at how he won the Super Bowl. Look at how he done it. They had to cheat to win. And how do we know they cheated? Because there were some fake plays and we just didn't understand. And the biggest one of them all is when the quarterback fumbled and would not pick up the ball. He actually held his players back from picking up the ball. My favorite quarterback is just like, why would you do that? They went 17-1, and I'm talking about the Panthers. When the Panthers went up against the Broncos, it was it was a shoe-in for the Panthers. We know the Panthers are gonna win. They get in there, and it was just like, what in the hell happened to our quarterback? Why? Like, why are you doing this? And then when he wouldn't pick up that ball, it was like, okay, this is fixed. It's fixed for Peyton Manning to go out as a superstar. And that's exactly what happened. He went out being one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. He would have still been one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. But they made sure that he went out on top. That quarterback was told not to pick that ball up. This is what you're seeing. You're seeing fake plays in the NFL and the NBA. You're seeing them all day long. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing them all day long. They need people to act like this. You know, Draymond Green he's just a small piece of the whole puzzle. They need people to act up. They need them. You don't have listen. If you don't have a Mister Kick you in the nuts, whenever they need a flagrant foul, what are they just gonna do? Arbitrarily call a foul? They tried that. Look what happened in Game 4 when they arbitrarily called a foul on Steve Kerr. They called a technical foul on Steve Kerr in the first quarter and a technical foul on Draymond Green in the second quarter, and nobody understood what the hell happened. Next game, close game, but still they let the cookie crumble. They let the chips fall where they may because they knew what was going to happen. You go on there and do a game 6 like that or a game 5 like that, no, you're going to have total mayhem. So you had Peyton Manning going out as a champion, high ratings, boom, all the ratings came back, high ratings, you know what I'm saying? But if you had two teams that you did not want to see in the Super Bowl, your ratings would go down, and their ratings did start to go down. And guess what? Their ratings are going to go down next year because of what they did with the Pats. See, if you cheat too much, people are just on to it. They're just on to it. It's just come on, man. The Patriots should not have won that game. Come on, Julio Jones is like, what in the hell happened? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? Like, what happened? No. So you need people who act like this. Draymond Green is being used, and he's getting his money. He happy, his mama happy. What are you gonna do? He'll be kicking people in the nuts for like the next 5 years. Then they'll get rid of him. But he's making his money. He's one of the highest paid players in the league. He's one of the most valuable players in the league. I mean, even though he isn't, the best on rim protection, he's good at what he does. You know what I'm saying? And when they need to make a move, a pivotal move, and need him to sit down, they'll be like, Dre, you need to go in there and kick somebody in the nuts because we need you to sit down so this other team can at least come back. Let me ask you something. Does the Celtics have a Mr. Kick You in the Nuts guy? How about Cleveland? Do they have a kick you in the nuts guy? I don't think they do. I don't think they got a kick you in the nuts guy. How about the Spurs? Nope. I don't know a kick you in the nuts guy, but we know there's more than one kick you in the nuts guy on Golden State's team. The other one is Zaza. How do we know? Because of what he did to Kawhi Leonard. We know that's how they play. We know that's how they get down. He took Leonard out the game, and then it was a question of, do you think you guys can still? It was like Coach was like, hell no, don't even ask me that question. He's like, why even ask me that? Because we know damn well that we can't do nothing with that. I don't know why that got parked that way. He did that on purpose. Why did you? Neighbors. Anyways, so that's my take on it. There has to be a guy like that. You have to have these people who and you notice they're always on championship teams. Always. And it's not like these are the teams that get the most focus because they're championships, or these are the people who get the most focus because they're on the championship teams. They're on the championship teams because of what they do. All those guys who act like that are all on championship teams. Every single one of the crazy dudes are pretty much on championship teams. And this is not somebody who goes in the stands and fights people. Because you had a whole team do that. I forgot what team that was. They just went crazy, start fighting the fans. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm talking about. So you guys, I'm not saying you guys go ahead and start looking at all the guys who started fights, and no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the guys out there starting fights. I'm talking about the guys who get a lot of technical fouls called on them. There's a difference because look, listen, Draymond didn't exactly start a fight with LeBron James. Did they ever fight? No, they started jaw jacking. That's about it. That's as far as it went. Same thing with LeBron and Kevin Durant. They started talking that junk, and that was it. LeBron was like, Green was he just took it way past, he was just talking a little too much. He just took it way past what he should have. And it's just like, yeah, y'all just jaw jacking. Y'all not fighting. I'm not talking about the fighters. I'm talking about the guys who get technical fouls called on them, and sometimes an arbitrary technical foul. What in the hell technical foul? Who saw that coming technical foul? What you talking about, Willis? Technical foul. What you talking about, Willis? Technical foul. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, nature, you scary. Technical foul. One of those just out of nowhere, just in shock. Like, uh, and a constant. And I'm not talking about one tech. I'm talking about this person gets technical foul all the time. Bleep. Brrr. You, right there. Ain't even on the court, sitting on the sideline. Ain't even playing the game. Chilling on, ain't even playing the game. Brrr. Like, dude, I'm not even playing. So what? Tech. You looked at me wrong. Tech. I'm exaggerating, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They need those people. You have to have it. It's like the villain. Draymond Green is not looked at as the good guy. He's looked at as the bad guy. Even before you start a game, you know Draymond Green is about to do something. Before you start the game, you're just like, Draymond Green's about to kick somebody in the nuts. You already know it. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me when the game starts. You don't think the same thing. Huh? Tell me when the game starts. Yeah, this brother is ignorant. He's just an ignorant dude, man. Somebody gonna do him too. Somebody gonna end up knocking him out. That'd have been my card. Anyway, neighbors. But I'm sorry. Where was I? Anyways, uh, God bless the child. I'm sorry. He took me out of my element. So yeah, I'm just gonna end it right there. But you guys, take it easy. God bless. You know what I'm saying? The Lord God loves you. Jesus loves you, man. And stay focused, people. Stay focused. It's your boy Tone Mr. Hayes. I got you, bro. I got you.